Alright, what's up YouTube? We're going to be doing a full walk around of my finished wiring job, or mostly finished wiring job, on the Case 440 tractor. So, first we're going to start with the key, which I have it completely hooked up. Start, off, ignition, and then heater would just be accessories. And that works pretty well. We have the idiot lamp for the alternator. So this is, if essentially how that works would be, this prevents the alternator from backfeeding the system, while also providing a light to tell if the alternator is not working. Over here we have the horn for the front, which actually works very well. Just don't have the battery hooked up yet. And then up top here, we have the Sierra boat gauge from like a marine gauge. And this is actually really cool. I just retrofitted this on a tractor. As you can see back here, we have the light for the gauge, the ground wire, the ignition wire, and then this would be the hot wire, or, this would be your ignition, that's your ground, and this is your sending wire. Sorry about that, with the black and yellow stripe for sending, which goes to the negative side on the coil, which is what flashes. And then here we have our horn, hot light, ground for both the horn and the lights, the grounding strip, the back of this would be part of the alternator idiot lamp, the light switch, which is all wired up, the fuse, and then this is interesting. This is a relay, and it would be for the oil light. Okay, basically the way this works is the oil light is a single hot wire, but the oil sender I'll show you that. The oil sender down here works by grounding the system when it has no oil pressure. And so what I used is a relay to switch the hot wire, the single hot wire on the oil light, using the ground, which is switched from the sender, because there's no ground wire on the hot light, on the, it's a single wire light, so it grounds to the frame, and so I could not hook it up in a way that would allow it so that we can use the sender, the oil pressure sender, to switch the idiot lamp. So that's where I use the relay. And it's sort of hard to explain, but essentially the ground switches the relay, and the relay then switches the hot wire on the oil light to tell you or to indicate that it has low oil. Flashers, both of those are hooked up. Those will be just tied into the harness. None of this is tied up yet. I have to put it all in loom and zip tie it. Around here we have the left flasher, right flasher, rear light, and then right here we have front light and gauge lights. Let's see, what else do we got? Here's the horn. It's been on here for, I don't know when it was last used, but I hooked it up. Here's the hot for the horn, and here it'd be the ground for the horn, and this will all be tied up in loom, looking nicely. I have a jumper wire going across both front lights. That works. I have the coil wired up, so this is just on when you turn the tractor on for your hot, and it's the basic, most simple point system that you can use. That's your coil hot. This is your switched ground hot for the gauge, your lights, your alternator sensing wire, and then this would be your alternator, this is the alternator sensing wire, alternator exciter wire, and this is your alternator charge wire. I have all that hooked up. What else do we have? Pretty much that's it. There was a small issue with the flashers. They weren't working at first when I first hooked it up, and at first I thought it was the original wiring, which is down here, because I never did this. This was on it when I first bought it. But then I realized after metering this, it wasn't the wiring, it was the old flashing relay. So one of these was not good anymore. flashing relay, so I replaced it with this one. It's an electronic flashing relay. It doesn't have to be, but that's just what I had. Let's see what else. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once I get it all loomed up. Zip tied and made it look nice so it doesn't look like this total mess. But yeah, that's pretty much a full walk around of the wiring for the Case 440. I know it says 430, but that's because somebody replaced the hood. But the Case 440 tractor. And then later, we'll show a video of it starting. I don't have a first start video, unfortunately, but I do have a second start video. The first time it kind of puttered out and didn't run. And then we'll start it, and we'll show you guys everything working. And then maybe I'll run through and show you guys a full breakdown of all the controls. Some of these I'm not very familiar on. Like, I mean, we have two shifters, low, and then low, high, and then your gears. But like, what is this shifter for? I don't know. I know what this is for, the raise and lowering. And then I'm not really sure, like, where the hydraulic fill point is for the hydraulic lines. Or I think the transmission fill point's right there. I'm not sure about that yet. We did also replace the fuel lines, so I'll show you that. Here's the new fuel line. It's actually like an industrial, we got it off like a generator. Like with a lot of the other stuff on this came off of generator parts, but this is a very heavy gauge fuel line. The old one was just a total cracked up mess, and so there's the new one. It actually runs pretty well. I just need to hook up the choke cable, which is right here. It needs to be trimmed or repaired and hooked up. And then pretty much that's it for now, but yeah. Alright guys, so this is the finished video on the Case 440 wiring. Alright, so here's what we got going on so far. I got rid of that ugly battery board that was completely rotted. The bolts broke, unfortunately. But outside of that, here's the wiring pretty much completely tied up. I did the best I could do. I could put a little piece of loom there, I guess, but besides that, that's like pretty much the best, really. This was like a pain to route in there, but I routed it as best I could. Got it zip tied, a little bit of tape, some electrical tape and zip ties at each point right here. Tape, zip tie, pretty much going up to the radiator, that's to the lights and the horn. And then if we come around here, there's the horn design. I got it just kind of wrapped and zip tied there, going up. And then coming around here, the choke is fully hooked up. That was kind of an interesting job to do. So first I had to cut some of this material back, since it broke like here. So I had to cut more of this thing, whatever this would be, your casing, back, and attach it there. And then when I was in the process of doing that, the handle broke off the choke. Alright, and so I had to weld it. I took it out completely, and let's see if I can get this to focus. Essentially though, this handle broke off of this rod, and so I welded them, took it off, took it to the TIG welder, and reattached it. Here's the wiring for the backlights, all loomed and zip tied together. I didn't really know what to do with your flashing relays, so I just kind of taped the bottom and zip tied it right there. This will all be covered up by the hood. And now on to a different part, which would be our fluids. So I'm guessing this is hydraulic fluid. And I did take this out, and there's a little dipstick on the bottom of this, and it is in the full range. But this one, on the other hand, you can see there's nothing on it. It's not even in range. That's just dry. I think this is hydraulic fluid. Guessing by how that hydraulic line goes into this tank here. And then this would be like, right here is where your two transmission pieces, your hydraulic tank and your transmission tank attach. And then this would be hydraulic fluid, I'm guessing, this tank here. So I just double checked that because I'm kind of curious now. So at the bottom underneath here, I gotta drill a fill plug right there for the hydraulic tank. And then back under there, let's see if I can get under here. Right there is your fill plug for the transmission fluid. Or empty plug, drain plug. So, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take and I already know this is transmission fluid. This one here is transmission fluid, but I don't know if that's hydraulic fluid or not, right here. So we're gonna take that plug out just a little bit and see what comes out. And if it's hydraulic fluid, I'll hopefully be able to tell by the way it smells. Then we'll know what to top it off with. See what comes out. A little bit, okay. Okay, so far, water. It's not good. Let that drain out for just a second. A little bit of water. It should start making fluid any minute now. Come on. Water. Gosh dang, that's a lot of water. Come on, fluid. Oop, get on my knees. Oh, that's way too much water. That's all water? Frick. Oh, there's some fluid. Alright, what is that? Sludge. Oh, crap. Oh, frick. Hold on. I should have been more careful. Oh, damn it. Hold on a minute. So I think it is... I don't know what it is. I can't tell. I think it smells like hydraulic fluid, but it might also be gear oil. I don't know.